Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. The fan forum is back with a stacked cast. And, it's not really the preview for what's in round 3 just yet. We're just going to chat about what's happened this far in the Six Nations. What can we still expect? Expectations versus reality, kind of. Aiden, welcome back. People, go and watch our Super Rugby podcast. It's absolutely sensational.
Come on, Super Rugby.
Super Rugby this weekend, right? By the way, might have been the best opening weekend of rugby in any championship that you will see in your life. But okay, we're going off topic. Aiden, welcome back. What you saying? You're excited for the Six Nations from an outside perspective as a Kiwi in England?
I am. I think we can all agree though that this break into a game into a break is stupid. What's going on? Like, we've had 2 great weeks of Six Nations. Thankfully, we could fill our time with Super Rugby, so it's not end of the world. But why have we got this massive stoppage? I mean, if I was England, I'd be upset because they've just come off a huge win. They want momentum, especially into a Scotland game, which they tend to lose a bit. So you'd want to go in with as much momentum as possible. Yeah. And then for the rest of us, it's just like, well, what do I do now? I've had people ask me.
Jake actually spoke about exactly that in the previous episode, where he was like, he's just scared that this absolutely stuns the momentum going into that Calcutta Cup. Because now you have that thing where like the whole country backs you. Who are we playing next weekend? We're not playing next weekend. Jake, do you still feel the same?
We had so much momentum and it just went because of the break weekend.
Can I just say, I did make a video on TikTok about that literally yesterday, and someone informed me they are getting rid of one of the rest weeks next year. So that's gone.
Nice.
But that's good because you're playing one game and then resting again.
Yeah.
Yeah, round 3 is a joke.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Bros, welcome back. Are you still in the groove for the Six Nations thing, or did this break just kind of stun you?
I think I will be reveling in that France win for a long, long time. As an England fan, it was nice to beat a team who wasn't Japan. It was lovely. I'm very excited for this weekend coming up. Obviously, the breaks are a bit annoying, particularly because like the URC and Super Rugby is still going on, but we don't have the Premiership. We just have the Prem Rugby Cup, which is fine, but not many people are that invested. Yeah, Jake loves it. I'm not that invested. So I'm excited to get back into it this weekend. It will be good.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for. Now, during this week, we had a bit of breaking news, right? We finally, the weirdest time, right? Like 2 games into the tournament. I don't understand why. Tiernan, chat to us. Gatland finally getting the sack. I mean, there couldn't have been a worse time for it, in my opinion.
I said it a couple of podcasts ago, they need to move on from. He's got no forward direction, and Gatland gets sacked this week. Didn't even let him go through the whole Six Nations. And I really think when he didn't pick a lot of informed players, that's just really when he found out that I don't think he cares about his job enough.
Were you shocked
done a good job to rebuild.
that it happened when it happened?
I'm not shocked at all. I'm surprised it didn't happen 5 games ago. Back in the they've just been shocked.
None of us
are
shocked.
Yeah, in the middle of the tournament. That's crazy.
I mean, they can't get worse. I guess that's their thinking. Maybe a new coach might give them a bit of momentum. But in terms, they were going nowhere, Captain. They're going for another win this year with him.
No, well, do you reckon they maybe get that new coach bounce and get an upset victory somewhere? Maybe like spanking England, who's maybe too up high on their idols?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They could easily bounce back and maybe come within 10 points of the teams they're playing. Who do they have next? They've got Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
Then they got France. Then they got England. Yeah, they're not getting wins from that, but they might come within 10 points of any of those teams. But yeah, new coach bound to be good for them. Maybe he'll get them a test match win this year. Who knows?
Yeah. Does anyone have anything to add to that, or was it just like kind of?
I think
expected but unexpected timing.
Yeah, as well as it's kind of expected and justified. I think a lot of people are ready to jump on the finally Gatland's gone. We hate Gatland. Gatland is still one of the most successful coaches in the Northern Hemisphere. He had a great tenure. He led them to world number 1. 14 games in a row he won, and then he came back, and then 14 games in a row he lost. So at least he's done that now. No more. But it's just the way it goes sometimes.
Maybe turn, just to think about, right?
But it's probably also to do with like the coaching style of when he was successful to the coaching style now. I mean, a lot of people have talked about it on other major platforms about how they treat the players differently now to what they used to. And my guess is Gatland has a very old school coaching style that doesn't work with the younger blood players, and it just hasn't gelled for them at WRU, which is in a shambles anyways. Like, it's not helped that Wales Rugby Union is in a massive hole.
Well,
Yeah.
Jimmy, would you say Gatland's reputation has been butchered now, or do you think that Welsh rugby can still look at the good old days? I mean, he did bring a lot of glory to the nation in terms of rugby. So,
Well, I think it's a bit of both, really. Like, his first stint at Wales was amazing. Like, he really brought them to one of the greatest countries in the world. But his second stint, it really has probably dampened his reputation at Wales, and I think that those bad times might stick out in the memory of the Welsh fans a bit more than the good times. I think it'll probably be a bit more fresh in the minds of people in general. Like, they'll probably just remember him more so of the man who went and brought Wales to a winless year. And but yeah, he did a lot of good at that country. Like, he won them three Grand Slams, world number one. He did amazing at them, but it's
yeah,
just you need to know when to
very
let
good
go.
point.
Can
Very
I
What
good
was he
point.
doing
Like,
taking the job though?
Can I?
Like he had his good stint. I don't know what he was thinking going to that Welsh
Yeah,
team
but
that
it's
needed a
that
rebuild.
typical thing of you see it a lot in MMA where there's one guy thinks he's retired, he's made the wise decision, and then like a rush of blood when he hears, okay, I can go straight into a title fight, just jumps right back into it, thinks, okay, I can do this, right? Because he's been missing it since he's sitting at home, and then he just gets absolutely fucked. That's
The Gatland
basically
the Gatland thing reminds me a lot of. I think there's a big parallel with Eddie Jones and Australia, and I think whilst at the moment both coaches maybe their reputations are dampened slightly, I think in like half a century's time, like their good things will stick out. Gatland was a legendary coach for Wales. Like, nothing takes away from that. This has been like a poor period, but I feel like people can recognise that also the team is completely different, and he didn't have loads to work with. I'm not saying he was the best coach for them. I know somebody maybe could have done a bit more with the team, but I think people can recognise that. I don't think he's going to go down as a failure in the rugby history books whatsoever.
yeah, obviously not. No, you can't look back at 1 year and think, okay, this guy's a shambles of a coach. Like Jimmy just mentioned, the accolades that guy's had is insane. Now, Jimmy, Jake, just to round off on Wales, seeing that you like them so much, you can get in the final word. Getting spanked 43 zip in France, right? Then going and losing to Italy. None of us called Wales to actually win one of those games. Do you reckon they'll have a little bit of a fight for the rest and could put up a performance? I wouldn't say necessarily win, but get something to look forward to for the coming years.
Yeah, I mean, they brought in some good players. They brought in Anscombe, Jared Evans, been playing well at Quins, and Llewellyn. You think if they start Thomas Williams and Anscombe, they play together at club, so you think they'd have a better relationship, and he's just their best 10. So that could help. You know, I think you get like a new coach bounce usually, so they might play well against Ireland. A few big players like Caelan Doris, I think's out. And they're at home. It's their first home game in the Six Nations. And so, yeah, they could. I think they'll make it closer than people reckon. It could be within like 30 points if they play well. And yeah, and then obviously the England game, the final game, they always get up for that. So there's a couple of decent games there.
Yeah. Anyway, talking about. Go for it.
I was just going to say, like, I think we'll win that game. But, like, with Wales, with that rivalry, it's not just going to be, like, a really easy game to go and like smash them at all. They will put up a big fight, I think, especially for the England game.
Rowland's masterclass.
They came within 2 points last year as well.
Arguably should have won.
Yeah, well, Jake, you just mentioned a couple of boys brought in. Another team bringing in a couple of boys. Ireland. Let's move on to Ireland. Talking about what our expectation is or was, how it's been playing out. Obviously, there's a couple of changes in the squad, and then you want to run us through what's been happening there, because you said the Munster fans can't be crying about anything anymore because they've got a couple of their boys in.
Yeah, there's these two players that they've been asking to be included in the squad for a long time, John Hunt and Gavin Coombs, who both had really good games there over the weekend and got themselves a spot in the Ireland squad after, I think, Cormac Ishuku and who else? 2 players got injured, so they had to come in. And I can't see them
Will they
getting
even
a game.
get a game though?
I can't see them getting a game now, but it's just good for them to be in the squad. We're in this point
Nice.
now where we do need to start.
Bit of charity work.
Players.
Pretty much.
Yeah, bit of charity work. This Wales game, I'm not really worried about them getting any new coach bounce. I honestly, I think I said it in the video. The only way they can win the game is if Ireland just don't even turn up. I think it's like 50-1 or something for Wales to win.
No, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But we'll chat about that a bit closer to the time. But Jimmy, how does your confidence feel after a shaky Autumn Nations? You lose your coach, obviously to the British and Irish Lions, but then you bounce back and you play some stunning rugby for the first 2 games. I'd played Scotland off the field and basically played England off the field as well if it wasn't for 2 consolation tries right at the end. That's a crazy turnaround if you look at the way that everyone was talking right after the Autumn Nations.
Yeah, I honestly thought even throughout the Autumn Nations when we were having poor performances, I was saying people are being far too negative about this team. They will bounce back. And I even thought I was probably a lot more confident than other people going into the Six Nations. But I think Ireland, they really have silenced a lot of doubters at the minute, and they're playing some unreal rugby. And it's been a massive improvement from the autumn, which I'm very happy to see.
Yeah, back in the autumn, we were shaky, and I wasn't very happy with it all because not that they're playing bad, it's more that the drop off they had.
Jake, you look bored of the Irish conversation already.
I am. I've thrown salsa. I'm wearing a green hat. Disgusting.
Put it back on, please.
There we go. What we're talking about?
Jake, did you expect Ireland to be as good as they are now, or do you think it's a bit of am I overrating them at the moment?
No, you're not overrating them. People underrated them after a disappointing autumn where they fell flat, but they're still a quality team. They're still the team that beat South Africa away in South Africa. So, no, I just think people were expecting them to be worse than France when I think they're as good or better.
Yeah. I thought the Autumn Nations looked like you just caught a team that's a bit cold at the moment. And I thought, listen, Six Nations, there's a lot on the line for Ireland. There's no way they'll be stinking it out. So I was very confident. I'm still very confident in them winning the Six Nations, especially after that France loss, because that kind of makes it easier for Ireland to win it, right? Aiden, what's your thoughts on them? Do you think they still cruise, or do you have that sneaky...
No, I don't think they cruise. There's no world where they cruise to a Six Nations victory, especially when you've still got France to play, which should be the hardest game for them, even though it's at home. And you just brought up that England game where, France lost, and yes, that makes it easier for Ireland. But if you're a French fan, you're like, we should win that game 99 times out of 100 with the way we played. If you drop 5 balls over the try line and lose the game, you can only blame yourself. So I think that's going to light a fire under a few of those.
Aiden, you're taking away of the victory that Rose just said she'll bathe in for like a month. Still to come.
I'm happy that they won. It means that I look smarter when I make prediction videos because I got it right. So brilliant. But if you're being honest at that performance, France played better. Some English players,
a lot better, way better.
Let me finish, Rose. Some English players were definitely better, but you cannot say that France didn't blow their own chance to win that game.
I think two things can be true at once. Fair enough, France blew a few chances, but that doesn't mean that England didn't play brilliantly.
Yeah, but from an international quality team, blowing one chance, you can almost let slide. Blowing 2 really shouldn't happen. Blowing 4 or 5 is ridiculous.
Aiden, the only thing that I'm hearing, right, is that England France needed to have one of their worst games, blow 4 or 5 chances, right, along with playing bad, and England really being at their best and defending for their lives to win by 1 point.
Yeah, so coming back to your initial question, I think that Ireland-France game is going to be fireworks. It's no secret I said France would win the Six Nations, and I did say Ireland would come third, and boy oh boy, people have not been happy with that. But I would like to reiterate, they could lose one game just to France and come third on points differential.
But they will most likely not.
You've been hyping yourself up a lot for getting one game right, but you predicted Ireland third. I want people to remember that prediction, not your.
Yes, no, that's what I said.
Yeah,
I've been defending that prediction. If
Casual.
France win by 8 points, Ireland get no bonus point in the loss, right? And England got a bonus point against Ireland. France got a bonus point against England. So if Ireland don't get a bonus point against France with an 8-point loss, which is conceivable, they would be third if everyone else won the rest of their games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we're
I
not
just
getting blown
can't see
out,
where
no.
Ireland don't score 4 tries. Like, I think
Or
they
get a
have
losing
no
bonus
chance.
point. This is in Dublin,
Yeah.
this game.
Did they score 4 against England? Thought they scored 3.
We did. We scored 5. Or
We scored 5.
Against
yeah,
England,
4,
you scored
5.
3.
Oh, yeah,
didn't
no,
you?
Ireland scored 4. Ireland scored 4.
4.
This-
Okay.
oh, we
Got a
scored
bonus
4.
point. Yeah, we're 10 points.
Anyways.
Like,
I don't think Ireland going to lose more than one game, just to be clear, because a lot of people think that I think they're going to lose to like Wales or something, and it's crazy.
No, let's
Well, you thought
let's
we'd
not
lose
be
to England.
ridiculous. They're not losing another 2 games out of
No.
France, Wales, and Italy. Are you kidding
no,
me?
the Grand Slam is decided in that France game. If we win that
Yeah.
France game,
Where,
Grand Slam. If we
just out
don't,
of
kind of
interest,
championship
where are
comes
they
down.
playing? Sorry, Tin.
No, go on.
Out of interest, where are Ireland playing Italy?
Rome.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Romeo.
It doesn't matter.
Right, I think Ireland will win, but that is not impossible.
Yeah, it's the same Italian team that scraped over the line against Wales. Let's not beat around the bush, right?
I'm just saying.
Men
No,
and
I think
Chelsea
Ireland will
masterclass.
win.
Same
but-
Italian team that was scoreless
It's
against
confusing.
Ireland last year.
Like, I don't mean that disrespectful towards Italy. It's just that's not happening.
No,
That's-
I also don't think it's happening. But out of that and Wales, I think that's more likely to go against Ireland.
Yeah,
Speaking
but both
of
are
that-
on like 0.01%, so that does not really matter. By the way, talking about Wales being shit, by the way, sorry, just to bounce back. Did you guys see Georgia absolutely whacked Switzerland by 100 points? That is ridiculous.
I want a Georgia Wales game in the autumn, just so not for any relegation thing, but just so Georgia can prove themselves. against
Wales
them.
pussied out.
I think
there
Georgia
last
will
year.
beat them.
Do you reckon? They beat them the previous time, though, as far as I know. Anyway, let's go on to where should we go? England or France? Okay, let's go England. Rose, your expectations versus the reality of it. How do you feel after the first 2 games?
I feel very confident. I'm not even gonna.
Why?
Watch it. Right. I really hate the whole England didn't play very well. We were handed the game by France's mistakes. That's not true. Fair enough. It helped, but that does not mean that we played badly. Some of the individual performances within England were amazing. I want to eat my words about what I said surrounding Finn Smith and Marcus Smith because it worked. Finn Smith, it was so. Did you see the way he set up the line to Elliot Daly, and how he went on and scored the try? It's just amazing. His rugby brain is insane, and I really wouldn't be mad if he kept starting at 10 and Smith stayed at
There's
15.
a difference between helped you get the victory and literally handing it to you by not having your hands on the field. The amount of knock-ons that was certain tries.
Please,
If France
Yeah.
score those tries, they win by 20 points. That's how it is.
guys, can we just look more positively on this? Surely you can recognise that was a fairly positive performance from England.
Yes,
We put pressure on them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we
we don't-
attacked
Hey,
well.
I'll
We
refer
put
to what
pressure
you
on them,
said.
We attacked well. It was the first time in a long, long time where I've looked at an England performance and I thought we actually looked like. Why are you
Rose.
laughing at me?
Rose, I'll refer back to exactly what you said. 2 things can be true at once. You played well. France played shit.
France did not
They
play
were.
shit. All in all, they played a decent game of rugby and then made mistakes. But their general gameplay was
Isn't
not shit. It's not like we
Aiden,
were just
Aiden,
attacking.
Aiden, the
No,
way
I'm
that-
not done. I'm not done. It's not like we were just attacking against a shut. Do not kick me. I swear to God.
This is
do
going
not
to get
kick me.
views.
I think we win. I think we beat Scotland this weekend.
That's not part of the conversation.
Oh, okay.
I just want
France handed them
like,
the game. That's how it is.
Which is
Yes,
no,
this
it's not
is-
like
this
we were
is-
just
this-
attacking
this is the
against a
difference,
team
right?
that wasn't
Aiden,
very
both
capable
of
of
us.
defense.
Aiden, both of us watched that Super Rugby game between the Blues and the Chiefs.
No,
right?
no, I
You
haven't
look
heard
at
that one. Please don't talk about it. Please, I don't know the score yet. Please.
I won't talk about
It's
the
been
score, but
4
you-
days.
Bro, relax, right? You look at that try-saving tackle from Cortez Ratama on Mark Telea, right? That is brilliant defense. England didn't have any of that. That was just plain open try knock-ons.
No.
Right?
So
It
that's
wasn't,
not true.
it wasn't
though.
like
That's not
England
true.
tried to
It's like,
defend it. It's just like blatant
You see-
open try
No.
knock-on.
shush. South African, shush. You see when DuPont drops it, like Finn Smith's in the passing lane, making it awkward, and when
No.
Peno drops it, Alex Mitchell and Lawrence are pressuring. These help
We
to
put
cause
pressure
some
on them.
mistakes.
Okay, so what about Muvaka, who literally dropped it over the
Because
try line?
he had to throw it high because Slightholme and Slade were sort of getting onto BLB array. Like it's good scramble,
Jake.
at least hard.
This is
Jake,
hypocritical.
Should that have been scored or not? Jake, what is the percentage that it gets scored versus doesn't get scored on
50-50?
all of those that you just mentioned?
Jake, you're the type of person. This is a little hypocritical from you, Jake, because you told me all through the Autumn Nations that England led in tries due to the poor defense. It was bad defense, not quality attack. Now it's the opposite, and you're saying that it was good defense and not poor attack.
No. I said they should still catch those balls, but you can't just say, "Oh, that was terrible defense." Like they're putting some pressure on there, and he's scrambling back. But I agree, they should still score those.
Okay.
But my point is that
issue
it's
is
France's fault that they
there's
didn't
four
destroy it.
blatant opportunities. 4.
Guys, can we just please give England a tiny bit of credit?
Remember,
just
you're
stop?
English. None of us like
Fair
English
enough.
people.
I know, but it's just been heartbreak for so long, and for once we played a decent game of rugby.
Rose,
Sadly, I had to end.
Pardon?
Like when England play well, the other team play bad, but it's never like we were better than them. But it's fine, Rose. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because you weren't. Anyway, you still got the victory, right? Rose, I'll let you continue. Going into the rest of it, do you think you take that momentum? Is that the kind of momentum booster that you needed for the rest of the Six Nations?
Yeah, but we're playing Scotland next, so we could be the Springboks in England shirts and we'd lose to Scotland. However, I do think
let's not beat around the bush.
No, you know what? No, you get my point though. We could be on the form of our lives, and at this period in time, we'd lose to Scotland. It's just I don't know what it is. It's a mentality thing. But I genuinely think we'll be good. Like we'll be good going into this game. We're at home, right? We're at home. Yeah. We did lose at home to Scotland a couple of years back, but I think the momentum still carries on. The team is really good. Like the weaknesses in position that we were kind of talking about before the Six Nations was maybe in the centres. Ollie Lawrence has been playing brilliantly. Slade's been playing well. I also thought I was not sure about the older front rows.
We'll be playing well? That blonde guy on the wing in a Scottish jersey. Jake, does he give you nightmares?
Okay,
No, it's more the English defence.
Well, I know he gives. I know.
It's Alex Dombrad that gives us
nightmares,
and he's not playing, so no more missed tackles. Can I Let me.
That try should have been disallowed for blocking, but we'll forget about that.
Can I just finish very, very quickly? I also thought Jamie George had a very, very good game, which was nice to see. And I think when we have that kind of security coming off the bench again, nice, Jake. It's very positive. I also thought Willis had a very good game at 8. I just thought, all in all, everyone did their job very well, which sounds simple and basic, but for England, it's rare.
What? And I was just about to say, like, saying a guy finally had a good game is nice to see. Where's the consistency with these guys? It's like you're just admitting your team stinks it out on a regular basis.
What are you talking about?
You're talking about Jamie George like he never has a good game. Jamie George had a nice
talking
game.
about how he's older and we should be bringing in the youth. Okay, maybe he's slightly not in his prime anymore, but he played very well. Please don't twist my words. I'm looking positively at the team. I thought some individual performances were great. And that is all I will say. We'll beat Scotland next weekend.
Jake, do you look positively towards the Scotland game? Do you trust in this team to go and do it, or do you think it's another nightmare at the Alien Stadium for you?
Well, I thought last week would be a nightmare, and it was wrong. So I'm going to be more upbeat this time and say a broken Scotland from that Ireland game will struggle against England if they bring the same intensity, especially the forwards. So, I think England can get it done.
I just want to say, I think Finn Russell's entire legacy of being the best 10 in the world really just is resting on those England games that he won.
Finn Russell has
he always has a really good game.
Most overrated player in the
Where am I pointing? Is this a casual or is this a
Pointing
10?
to me there.
That's a 10.
We've been saying this for ages.
Bro, longer than ages. But no one wants to believe it.
He's the most overrated player out
He's
there.
I'm
not
sorry,
the
I've
best
also
10 in the
been
world.
saying
I'd
he's
argue
not the
he's
best in
barely
the
top
world.
3.
What is this
No.
bandwagon?
Yeah, but we have not even
I've
just
been
been saying
thinking
he's
it,
not the
right?
best
I
in the
haven't
world.
said
We've
it.
been saying he's like maybe in like
Maybe
the top
top
8.
5.
Guys, that is ridiculous. He hasn't had a good
Prendergast
past
is
couple of
better.
games. Don't get it twisted. He's not the best in the world, but come
Oh,
on.
well, settle down there, Jimmy. I don't know about that comment.
Prendergast is better. Played him off the field in both times he played.
I'll talk about him, player of the
I
round last
agree.
round.
Yeah, player of the round,
At
Sam
21 years
Prendergast.
old, that's
Yeah.
fine.
How did okay?
Finn Russell is
I
Sam
believe,
Prendergast posters on
I'll
the
hold my
wall.
hand up. I believe he played incredibly. But how did he get man of the match over Gibson Park?
He was unbelievable.
No.
Byrne, Gibson Park, and Prendergast were unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was any of them
Unbelievable.
3 could have got man of the match.
And Prendergast was
Hey,
the
you
only
hate
one I didn't
Prendergast
have
more
in
than
my
you hate more than
fantasy
Munster
team.
fans do.
No, I
Like
don't.
Finn
I actually
Smith.
don't. I just think you guys need to like stop bickering. I hate the bickering. Is what I hate. It's all over my. I just don't care, and it's all over my.
Yeah,
TikTok.
Munster
All I
fans.
see
It's
is
just in response to the Irish.
Prendergast, Crowley, Prendergast, Crowley. I was like, shut up, just play.
I've given up on it as well. Like,
Bro,
Over
why
Yeah,
it.
you
stop it, Munster fans. Definitely just Munster
just
fans.
have fun while you have 2 classy 10s. Because
Yeah.
for years I was saying, well, Crowley individually, he looks like he's better skilled than Johnny Sexton, but he doesn't necessarily fit the system as well as Johnny Sexton did. But now you look at the way that Prendergast fits that system, like it fits like a glove, right? And then you have Crowley off the bench. I think that's a sexy combination to have.
yeah, it's good.
Very
Okay,
good.
but we've
works
already,
both
Very
ways.
really good impact player.
we've already spoke about Ireland. Rose, do you reckon you'll obviously be a massive fan for France against Ireland? Do you believe?
I believe.
Believe in life.
Do you believe?
I don't know. I think it will be very tough, especially in Dublin, especially considering Ireland's success. Against England, I didn't think Ireland looked amazing. They looked
What I
like
mean is, do you believe that you can actually go and do it? If
Oh.
you believe that
Oh, I
France
thought
can
you
do it,
meant-
and then you go and win the Six Nations.
Sorry, I thought you meant do you believe can France win, which is a maybe. I think yes. If France win, yes, which is quite obvious.
That's what this Six
So
Nations.
Yeah, because
possible.
if they
It's so-
if they don't win, we're a
it's-
Grand Slam.
if we play our next 3 games and we win them all with a bonus point, and
Which you
Ireland
should.
lose- yes, well, hopefully Scotland's a bit, but hopefully, and Ireland lose to France without a bonus point, the whole thing gets blown wide open. I mean, it's already wide open. We just really, really need France to beat Ireland. Every England fan is going to be screaming for France in that game. But it's the first time in years where I've been like, we have a chance, which is nice
Technically,
enough.
so will Italy because currently speaking, Italy still has a chance.
Yeah.
Jake,
Everyone except Wales has a chance, pretty much.
Yep.
Jake, do you believe? Because if you say you believe, and we go this weekend and you get whacked by Scotland, we will be reposting it. It will be on 24-hour clips on
We'll get Dolan on it.
Yeah, get Darlin on it.
Well, you can believe anything and it might not go wrong. But yes, I do believe that we can, if we win this, we can win to this weekend and then win the Six Nations.
Can
Of
we
course,
touch
it's all
wood,
down
Jake,
to
please?
what?
No, it doesn't matter. Carry on.
It all depends down to this either France doing us a favour against Ireland. But I think you got to go. England have got to have this mentality shift. You can't just think, oh, we have to beat Scotland. It's like, no, we want to beat them by 4 try bonus point. We want to smash Scotland. And that's what the team's got to be thinking going into it. Not, can we finally beat Scotland? No, forget about that.
That's not happening.
Do you honestly think Scotland will win?
I wouldn't say I believe Scotland will win, but I don't think there's any way that you're smashing Scotland. Scotland, this is the game they're looking forward to.
Do you think we can score 4 tries though?
I haven't seen enough of your attack. That's the issue, right? Like, you've been clinical and you've had it, but I mean, goodness gracious, have you guys had to defend in your 2 games that you have had to play? Like, holy shit! I haven't seen England defend for their lives like this since forever. I mean,
Yeah, you guys need to work on holding on
that's
to
kind of the
ball.
issue, right? Like, you can look at it. 2 things can be true at the same time, right? Like, as you guys mentioned, we've been saying England's defense has been shit, but then this Six Nations, the defense has been class, right? To some extent, Right?
Yeah.
Would have been a different story if France scored their 4 tries. I wouldn't have maybe said that. But
That's like, we have scored 3 tries away to Ireland and then 4 at home to France. And
Yeah,
the
but
problem is in
Okay,
Ireland,
you
very
scored one
consolation
actual
tries.
competitive
Still
try
scored
against
them.
Ireland. And
Yeah,
we
I know
need to because
that.
we'd
But
won the game.
you let us get a losing bonus point, which could be detrimental to you later on in the tournament. Like,
That would
I
be-
should know that.
That would be mental though, if that like
Yeah.
10 minutes of turning your brain off in that home game
Yeah,
cost you the Six Nations. That
It'd
would be
be-
crazy.
it'd be beautiful.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't. It's not
It
happening.
would be nightmare.
Not happening. But talking about France maybe upsetting Ireland. Let's talk about France.
I don't know if
right?
it's an
Jimmy,
upset. They're
It
pretty
won't be an
close.
upset because it's at home.
Jimmy.
Yeah, well, I
What's
say
your-
Ireland
what's
are
your-
favourites for this one.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, what's your thoughts been on France? Does it kind of scare you that they lost to England and what they could be going for the rest of the tournament?
Well, knowing the French, they probably won't have much drive after that, but that could come back to bite me, that statement. But I was pretty scared of them coming into the tournament and after the first round. But I think they might have lost their drive. Their tournament might be derailed like it was last year.
What's your reasoning in saying that? Are you looking at that
Right.
World Cup 2023 where they lost and then they just decided to not compete the next Six Nations? Or what are you basing on them not?
Ireland
Right.
smashing them last year and then
No, but it's a
being
different story.
bailed out by the ref twice against Italy and Scotland and only coming back against England and Wales then at the end of the tournament.
Different
Well,
team.
Look, how they
we
play
put
completely
that
rests
down
on
to
how
DuPont
well
not being
DuPont
there.
does. If
Well, we
DuPont
put
has a
that
bad
down
game,
to
which he didn't
DuPont
have a
not
great
being there.
game against England, then they're not going to have a good game.
But yeah, we
Ireland
put
doesn't
that down to DuPont not being there. But now DuPont's there. They lost a game to England. They played like for French standards, yeah, they played really bad. But for just in general, they weren't too bad. Yeah, they dropped a few balls, but like, yeah, I think their defense wasn't great. Their
Jake's
attack was
fuming.
just not.
Jake, rinse him. Rinse him, Jake.
I'm just saying they did not play poorly. Like, and all you guys said
For
it's
French
not really
standards, they
severe.
did.
They didn't work by France standards. They dropped the ball on the final 5 meter line, but overall
They're
they played
defending
very
terribly.
Jake,
Elliot
shush,
Daly should
Jake.
never get through.
Jake, that is a crazy statement, right? Because you said that France will smash you. So you set the standard, and then when you beat them, that means they didn't play up to their standard. So you can't be saying
No, it just means we played like above the standards that Jake thought that England would play at. It doesn't. It means England
Yeah,
exceeded expectations.
Yeah, shush, casual.
sure, buddy.
We can't be taking this knowledge from a guy that didn't even predict his own team to win.
Yeah,
There
Jake,
you
that
go.
is poor. That is poor.
Yeah,
Even
that's
England
just
was
England.
poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I understand you can think another team's, statistically better than you at the moment. But I'll be damned if I predict another team to beat my team anytime, even if we're way worse. If I was a Welsh fan right now, I'd be predicting us to beat Ireland next week. That's how much faith you have to have in your team. And you lack it. Wrong way. You lack it.
Exactly.
No, sorry. If you're All Blacks are as bad as Wales, there's no way you're predicting Wales to beat the Springboks in the Rugby
I am.
Championship.
I am.
No, you aren't.
I am. I always predict my team to win every time.
I will as well, yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Got to back.
Why would I not? I have full faith. Just because I can criticize them after the fact and say, well, they need to change this.
That's not a true prediction. Now, you can want your team to win, but a true prediction is thinking how you think the game's going to go.
Yeah, I don't
You gotta
care.
I
back
reckon
the boys,
we
though.
It's a
beat
matter
the
of
All
morals
Blacks
and
at
pride,
Ellis Park.
Jake.
At Ellis Park in Dunedin.
I want to go home.
At Eden Park, yeah. No. No, I mean, see? Well, wrong way again. But I back him for sticking to his team.
Always back your team, unless you're
Yeah.
Jake. I actually respected when Jake gives us his valid prediction. But in my head, right? Like I'm not even saying this because I'm not backing. Like I actually believe the Springboks will be winning every single game. I actually believe it every single
You
time.
can believe that.
Yes, we
That's
found
what
a
happened.
Springboks fan.
That's
that
what
is more
happens when
understandable.
that's what happens when you have a quality team. Quality team, you back your boys all the way.
How do you
Exactly.
think I feel, Casual? I grew up on winning every single game. Well, now we're losing some. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
Okay, Casual,
exactly.
do you predict the Stormers to win every game?
No, that's
No,
different.
you don't back your team, man.
No,
You don't back your team, bro.
Because there's times when we are clearly weaker than another team. A full strength Stormers team, right? Full strength Stormers team. Yes, we are the best in the world. Then we get Put Damien Phillips, Sasha Feinberg. Give us all our injuries back. We are the best team in the world. You'll get smoked. We'll beat the All Blacks at Eden Park. The Stormers team, full strength Stormers team. That's how I back my team, right?
Oh my
Will it happen? Probably not, right? But I back the boys to get it done. That's backing your team. But Jake, I still respect it.
I don't.
Even
I can
when
understand if we were professional sports commentators on a rugby panel with millions of viewers, yeah, I get it. But we're not. We chat shit and
This
insult
channel is quite literally called Casual Bias Rugby.
Exactly.
What's the word? I give my authentic opinions. I think England are going to lose. I'm going to say they lose. I'll still be shouting at the TV, hoping they win. It doesn't mean I think like a day before they're going to.
Jake, you would have just earned so much respect in the comment section. Like I truly believe that the people will love you after. I'm not even taking the piss, right? Like
Yeah,
I expect myself and Aiden to get now a lot of hate now.
I've already
after saying that.
I think I've turned the tides now. They're turning away from Jake, and they're starting to hate me quite a bit in the comments.
Yeah, your little Bertie Booster.
Yeah.
This has gone from a Six Nations chat into just
Someone
us
called
chat.
me last week. Someone called me a prop that thinks he's magic when he scores a try because he got one prediction right, and it was kind of accurate, but it was kind of rude.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Fair enough. Anyway, France, Jimmy, I don't necessarily agree. I think they are like a wounded dog now, and I think they hammer Italy in Rome, just like as a stamp of authority. Italy will be ready, especially after what happened last year or whatever. But if you think about that French pack, they're not going to knock all those balls. Obviously, a rainy day in Stoke changes everything, right? So if it's going to be rainy, if it's going to be rainy in Rome, maybe we see a different game. But I think this is a hurt French team, stamp of authority on Italy, going up against Ireland. I still back Ireland to get it done, but this is not going to be a team that's just going to lie down all of a sudden. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think we're either going to have like the tightest game possible and win by 1 or 2 points. That's what I was predicting before the tournament and after that Wales game. But after that England game, I do feel a bit more confident. I'm a little less nervous. I think it's either going to be Ireland win by 1 point, scrape over the line, or we're going to put 40 on them like we did last year with the way the French are at the minute.
No way.
You see, we're not very good at closing out tight games. But
When have
we
you-
can get out there early and start winning a lot, like. And start
No, I
scoring
said it's
loads
either
of
going to be
goals.
one of them two. It's either going to be
Yeah, like if
blowout or-
normally what we do is we take off in the last 50 minutes or last 20 minutes. But in a one-score game like England last year, we tend to crumble under the pressure a bit, and that's what I'm really worried about France. If they can
But
stay in the game,
our
which
attack
they
was on
will.
like 50% though, because like half our back line got taken out by the English.
Yeah. All right. We've been talking forever. We still have Scotland and Italy to do. I mean, I'm not too knowledged up on Italy. So let's talk about Scotland first. Got the victory over Italy. I didn't think it was the most convincing victory, but they did get it done. They got their points. You'll take that. Then getting just ran through by Ireland. Is Darcy Graham, is he allowed to play?
Surely not.
2 weeks, yeah,
No.
only 2 weeks. No,
Yeah,
Poor
it's
Darcy
protocol.
Graham.
Even 2 weeks is like the
Britain also
minimum.
will.
That guy's going to be out for
Do we
like
see Carl
6
Stein back?
quarters.
Do we reckon we see
Think
Carl
so,
Stein
yeah.
back? Oh, well, he is great. Him and Duan van der Merwe on the wings. What do we think for Scotland for the rest of it? Because they haven't lived up to the expectation, and I've seen a lot of people again this season saying this is their year, and then you put up a performance like that up against Ireland.
I think it's difficult for them, like losing Tuipulotu, now losing Darcy Graham. They have a Finn Russell who just isn't playing up to the standards that Jake. Who isn't playing up to the standard that we know him to play. I think when you have like that many holes and changes and issues in your back line, it's going to be difficult for them to do anything. I think they'll play well against England. They always do. It's a big game. Calcutta Cup's like emotions are always high. Everyone's passionate. But I don't think they're contenders for the trophy. Is it even possible for them to still win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Any
don't think
team
they
can
will.
win but Wales because they've only got one loss.
Right. Yeah.
I think the key thing with
Wales could
Scotland.
also technically win, can't they?
Yeah, well, probably. I think the key thing with Scotland is like we've all talked about when they have their starting 15 fully fit. It's a very competitive starting 15.
Yeah.
But they clearly lack the depth to compete with the Frances, the Englands, and the Irelands of the Six Nations at the moment because they lose those players like Tui Pelotu. We all think is incredible. They lose him and they look worse without him. Like I know you can't exactly replace someone of that quality, but they don't have someone almost as close to him who's that good. They just feel like they're missing quite a bit when they have those players gone. And whereas your team like Ireland is something they're exceptional at, is they can replace almost anyone in their team, and the system looks just as good.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like it feels like you take out Tui Pelotu and they've lost their entire structure. They've lost everything. So
especially
is that just a knock on Townsend to say that you're relying everything on one player to get you over the line?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I know a lot of Scottish people are calling for a change in coach now, and well, they have been for a while apparently. And I mean, Townsend's been there since 2017, and has some Calcutta Cups to show for it. But other than that,
if Scotland goes out and smokes England again, like they usually do we change our tune, or do we just say no? That's just rugby heritage.
It's what I said earlier, right? Everything about Finn Russell and how good they've been really just sits on those Calcutta Cup wins. They got to do something else. They got to get some wins against the likes of Ireland, France, if they want to, consider themselves.
A home game win against New Zealand would be nice.
To be fair, they should have won against France
last year.
Yeah.
Everyone
Italy should have won against France and did better against them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Jake,
the ref bailed them out twice.
What is it, Jake?
This is last year's problem. Scotland got to think about the future, forget about their little gripes in the past.
That's so harsh, Jake.
Sassy Jake.
Oh, Richie Burney in the comments is going to be going at you, Jake, as usual.
Come at me. Come on, come at me.
Wow. Okay, we'll get rid of Jake for the rest of this. That was crazy.
Diabolical.
Anyway, we'll wrap up on Italy. I mean, I was fairly impressed with their performance against Scotland. They got the job done against Wales. I mean, they looked better last season against Wales, but obviously it was like a rainy day in Stoke once again out there in Rome. So can we see Italy getting another victory? Tiernan?
No, don't think so. I think England and Twickenham don't do much of a job. Ireland are just too good, and France are just too good.
Why can't they get it done at Twickenham?
It's definitely.
Did we just beat France there? I can't.
Rose, you're acting like your victory. You're acting like your victory had no caveats. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
No,
Tiernan,
you
why
play
can't-
very well, and I think it's
we talked about
insulting
this
to say.
Tiernan, why can't they get it done at Twickenham?
I just think England as a team they're definitely better. They have a better squad, just better in most ways. But in Rome, they can't pull the odd upset. They were very good against them last year in Rome, but I think Italy are a team very easily intimidated.
I
think it is, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
See, I think they're more likely to win that than against England.
Yeah, it was a rainy game last year, and they really should have won that. So if they get a bad conditions against France, I don't see anything stopping them from winning that game.
I think they can beat England in good conditions.
So yeah,
I really don't think it's that far-fetched.
France a bit too much.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm not saying Italy can beat France. I'm saying Italy
Jimmy is.
can beat.
I am.
No, Jimmy, that's crazy. That is crazy talk.
I don't think it's any crazier than you think they're going to beat England at Twickenham.
No, because let's be real. England are a team that can beat anyone, yes, but they can lose to anyone too.
Yeah.
So can France. Look how they played against Italy last year.
Yeah, without all their best players.
They still have
just
a lot
without
of players.
Dupont.
And Intimac.
Pretty much everyone apart from Dupont and Intimac. Still Ramos, still
like
Peno, still Villarreal.
It's not the core of their team. Well, Dupont maybe. Dupont maybe, not Intimac, because in the Autumn Nations series with Ramos at 10, France were playing brilliantly.
Yeah.
Well, they played brilliant. Wow. Yeah.
So they missed one very key player. in DuPont.
Yeah, but they would want Ramos at 15 and Intermark at 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I know, but arguably they played better in the Autumn Nation series than they had done in the Six Nations.
Because then they have the
with Ramos at
second
10.
best fullback in the world at 15 and the second best 10 in the world at 10. Like,
yes, I know, but would you not agree that arguably France played better in the autumn than they had done in the Six Nations when Ramos
Oh,
was
yeah,
at 10?
definitely. Yeah, I'd
In
say
the
they were
alternation.
definitely in better form.
Yeah. I just
we've
don't
had 2
think...
games, and it's a completely new year, right?
No,
Like,
I recognise that, but I
they've
don't
had
think you can
Wales,
say that
which is
France
tough to
last year
judge
were like
even.
missing all their best players. Fair enough, they were missing Dupont, but like, I don't think it's any more far-fetched to say that Italy could beat France than it is to say Italy could beat England, especially considering Italy are playing.
I'm basing it on, if there's one thing that Italy
and
really
England
is,
with France.
Italy is extremely clinical. Like, they don't get a ton of opportunities, but damn, do they score their opportunities, right?
They have
if
never
Italy-
beaten England in
If
history.
Italy
That's about to
gets
change.
as many opportunities, right, as England gave France, they are going to get cooked. And I do believe Italy will win that game then, right? I won't predict Italy to beat England. I do believe England will win that game.
It's rugby
But I wouldn't be-
heritage.
Rugby heritage
They've
eventually
never
stops.
beaten us,
Yeah.
which is more than could be said for like every other team. Or a
As
lot of
someone that's watched their team lose for the first time to every bloody nation, it ends eventually.
It's not this
It ends
year.
eventually.
Definitely not this year.
I
think
think
this
it's just as
definitely
like,
needs
I
to
don't
get it
want
done.
them
I
to.
see a path that
I
it
don't
does
expect them to.
happen.
You know,
Yeah.
perhaps Ben and Shadow, if they don't manage to get 12, 11 points between them, they might actually have a chance. In fact, I'm still hurting from that.
Still hurting, yeah.
No, so am I. So am I.
All
But I
right,
think Italy do have a path.
let's wrap it up. Everyone, thank you for watching. Please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys. Go to all of their socials on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Give them a follow. Yeah, and thank you for always being here and just chatting a bit of rubbish with us. Cheers.